Beating Minecraft is fairly easy. You create a world, you get some wood, get some basic tools, upgrade your tools, you go into the nether, get some blaze rods, get some ender pearls, you find a stronghold, you get into it and you kill the ender dragon. The top speedrunners can do that in like 10 minutes, and even more casual players can do it easily in a couple of hours. Well, this task gets much more difficult if you're trying to do it on the oldest ANARCHY server in Minecraft. And today, I'm going to try to beat Minecraft on 2v2t. Enjoy! Obviously, the first challenge is to get on 2v2t, because queues there are terrible. You know, I had this over a day of queue, but eventually after I think like 10 hours of running Minecraft on my PC, I eventually got on. And I had some items from where I played when I played 2v2t before, but I thought this would be cheating. I wanted to start fresh from zero, so I threw all of my items away and then I drowned myself. So I would start from nothing, and this is where the challenge really starts. I have nothing, I'm at the start, and I need to leave. Obviously, first thing you need to do is get to nether, so I found some nether portal and went on a highway. I went for quite a bit, and around -2000 by -2000 I decided to leave and go check the overworld, because I was out of food, I couldn't walk any longer. And as you can see, I'm not even 20,000 blocks away from spawn and there are already some trees, so like escaping 2v2t is not that hard. It's fairly easy, to be fair. I found some empty chests and something that was a farm a long time ago. Yeah, I find a bunch of signs here, I don't know why, but I decided to leave my own sign. Found this wooden pickaxe and then decided to grab some wood. Now I made myself a crafting table and some stick. I decided to get some stone so I could make myself some basic tools, then grab some more stone and some coal so I could make a furnace and smell stuff later. I traveled for a bit and eventually I have found an underground melon farm and I decided to go for it because I needed food. I grabbed some melons. For the first time in a long time I wasn't hungry, I could run. I grabbed some iron and smelted that iron so I can get iron pickaxe. And with that iron pickaxe I mined myself a bit of diamonds. I mined about half a stack of diamonds so I could make myself the entire armor and some tools. Also made myself a bucket and I placed a sign that said I was here, because why not? I decided to make the farm bigger because it was very inefficient. But I was impatient anyways, and when I got 25 melons, I probably should have got more, but I got bored and left for another. Obviously, I got back on the highway, and you know how it is. I just started walking, and I walked, and I walked, and I walked for quite a bit of time, to be fair. Eventually, I ran out of food again. I decided to leave. I found some ruined farm and some ruined buildings. But what's funny is it was Poland. I left the nether and I found my home country, which is very funny. I found some wheat and some seeds, so I decided to replant all the crops for the future generations that come here that might be in need of some food. I look around for a bit, what's happening here, what stuff there is. I put a sign that I was here, obviously. I found this badge, which is an insult to Poland, cause it's this. And eventually I decided to boat away, but the boats were very glitchy and very unreliable. I found abandoned mineshaft and I got some cobwebs from it for strings so that I could make a bow and some fishing rods. And I fished for a bit so I could get some food, I maybe find out some treasure. I don't think I found anything interesting. I didn't fish anything interesting, but I got quite a bit of food. So after a bit of fishing, I left. And I find this shitty highway. I was very bad. Found this base that someone built, but it was already griefed and empty. Traveled some more. Got to -40,000, -40,000. I found this place that got some farms here, so I obviously got some melons from that. And in this house I look in other chests and I found almost 2 stacks of melon. Obviously took them all because I needed food. Traveled for a bit more and I decided to get back into the nether because the traveling in Overworld was taking me too long. And I again went just diagonally for quite a bit. But this time I found a horse. And this horse might look really slow, but if you have a hacked client, you can change the entity speed, which made this horse in a fucking speed demon. Now I could travel around, what, 15 blocks a second instead of 5, so that was a game changer. Eventually I found this fortress. I look around and I found a blaze rod spawner, which is great because I needed blaze rods for ender pearls. I killed some blazes and here I got my first end rod. I think I get 2 right here. Yeah, I get 2. I still wanted more. I wanted to have around 8, but I ran out of food and I was almost dead, so I decided to leave. Luckily I find some brown mushrooms and then red mushrooms, so I crafted myself some soups and regenerated my health. And with full health I went back to the blaze rods. I grabbed 3 more blaze rods and with 9 I decided that's probably enough and decided to leave the fortress. I still want to travel quite a bit further than I was, but eventually I left the overworld and I traveled for a bit in the overworld. And through all the traveling in the overworld I found not 1, not 2, but 3 sea temples, which is weird. That's a lot of sea temples. I eventually found this village, but sadly there was no cleric in here, and I needed cleric to trade for ender pearls. Because I wanted to have, I probably could find like an open end portal, but I wanted to have that 12 ender pearls just in case. And I also needed 4 ender pearls to make 4 end crystals so that I could resurrect the ender dragon. I traveled for a bit and I eventually found this desert village. And luckily this village had a cleric and he wanted some gold for emeralds. I needed to level him up so that he would trade me some ender pearls. Yeah, I decided to make my base here in this village because I was going to need to be nearby here anyways. I made some chests so that I could stash all my stuff because my inventory was total chaos. And I went mining. I mined quite a bit of coal because I could trade coal for emeralds with some villagers, and I needed coal to smelt some gold so I could level up the cleric. Also mined some gold. Obviously I needed gold for the cleric. I went out, made myself a furnace and smelted my gold. I found some monster spawner with spiders, which is really good because I needed some string so I could make myself a bed. In case I die, I wouldn't spawn on 0-0, but here almost 300 blocks away from spawn. I took my gold and traded with the cleric for the first time, and he leveled up. And I traded him for some redstone, and then he leveled up again, and I had a pearl trade. Unfortunately I needed 4 emeralds for 1 pearl, so I needed to trade for a lot of emeralds. I found a diamond armor for my house and I went fishing for a bit because I needed some food, and also I hoped for some enchants or treasure. I traded some more for emeralds and I got my first ender pearl. Now I made myself an enchanting table and also grabbed some bookcase from the librarian so that I could enchant on higher levels. Unfortunately I got a silk touch pickaxe, which is not what I wanted. I enchanted a fortune pickaxe, so I combined my pickaxes, efficiency and a fortune pickaxe. I mined quite a bit of coal and traded all of that coal for emeralds because I needed a lot. And when I say I mined a bit, I mined a lot. I mined a lot. But eventually I traded for 13 pearls. Now that's enough to open an end portal, but I needed 4 more so that I could make end crystal and resurrect the ender dragon. But I farmed a bit and eventually I got 17 pearls, which is more than I needed. Eventually I went into the nether because I needed to farm I needed to farm gas tears for end crystals. First gas found quite fast. I've been in the nether maybe for 5 minutes, but unfortunately the bow is very laggy on 2v2t, so it doesn't shoot always right. I killed him, but unfortunately he didn't drop me any gas tears. There was another one that spawned quite fast, but he also didn't drop me anything. And what you need to know on 2v2t, but gas spawns are very low. I spent a lot of time in the nether, and I got bored a lot of time, so I built the spear house and I almost died. Yeah, 1.5 heart. Almost killed myself. That's how bored I was. Eventually, you know, I got kicked out of the server, and then when I came back, 24 hours in the queue. So yeah, I spent probably like 4 days just in the nether. I'm not even joking. Probably like 4 days of my life was spending queuing to 2v2t and then in the nether trying to get some ghasts. So I decided to get myself a looting sword, but then I realized that my enchanting table wasn't high enough level and I needed level 30 to get looting swords. So I needed to grab some sugarcane and then kill some cows for leather, and I crafted about 40 books. Then I made myself a few bookshelves and I got my enchanting table to be on max. I made some dummy swords so that I could reroll the enchantments, and eventually I got looting, but I didn't have levels, so I needed to mine for some levels, and eventually I got it. This made the grinding much easier, but it still was boring because gas spawned very low. As you can see, there's some random pillars I made here and some random taller pillars I made here, and there are some random stairs here and some random dig. I was very bored in the nether. Yeah, I got kicked quite a lot and it was annoying. Eventually the ghast finally spawned here and I killed him using my looting sword, and it dropped me 2, which is great. Looting sword is awesome. But when I was waiting for ghast to spawn, I was quite bored, so I was watching some stuff on my second monitor and I almost killed myself. And I almost killed myself twice. No! The server lagged here. If the server didn't lag, I would have been dead with all my stuff and my horse. If I died here, I would just give up. Okay? I am so thankful for that lag on the server. It saved my ass. It literally saved my ass. You know, eventually another ghast spawned, but the server was lagging so much I could not shoot a single hour. You can see the entire part here. I shoot and nothing goes out. It was horrible. I even tried to kill him with my sword, but it didn't work. So eventually he flew up and he just despawned. So I was pretty bummed up about it. At some point I spent like 12 hours in the queue to get on 2v2 team. And then after around 2 minutes of playing I got kicked. And the queue was 13 hours. And this queue, this nether, it broke me, okay? It broke me. I bought priority queue. I went on the site. Check out how much 20 bucks is. It's $78. Well, you know what I could buy with that? I could probably buy like 2 liters of vodka. I would probably buy like 24 beers. I could probably buy like 4 kebabs or 5 kebabs. You know how much 20 bucks is? And I spent it on the queue. That's how desperate I was. Should have done that earlier, now that I think about it. I'm not even joking. Literally 4 minutes after I bought priority queue, immediately a ghast spawned and it dropped 2 ghast tears and I have 4 ghast trees. I was done. Yo, let's go. That's enough. That's enough. We go back. Holy shit. Hype, 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 hype. Hype indeed. I mined some sand so that I could smell it and I could make my first end crystal. So I made myself another tree and I had 4, which is exactly what I needed. I decided to enchant my armor. I got protection 3 on my helmet, I got feather falling on my boots, protection on my leggings, and protection on my chest plate. I also got sharpness on my sword, so that I could combine both of my swords, sharpness 2, and make sharpness 3. And I was ready for the fight. I found some horse so that I could travel faster because I didn't want to use my horse. And I traveled quite a bit in the overworld. You can see it speeded up because I wanted to get it through overworld. It would be easier to get to the same chords, so like negative 200, negative 200, which is where the highway is. And at this chords I find some chests, but nothing really important there. And I find this nether portal. I was really close to negative 200, negative 200,000, so I decided to went into here. And my horse almost died in the wall. I rescued him, and I was right next to the highway. Even with this fast horse, this took so long. I was in the nether negative 25,000, negative 25,000, which diagonally you have like 35,000 blocks to walk. So on my horse, which had speed cheats, it still took like 40 minutes just to travel to nether. I'm not counting the travel in the overwatch, which is probably like additional 20 minutes. I find some loot randomly on the highway, but nothing really good in there. And eventually at around 2000 codes, I decided to make myself a portal and get to the overworld. I was farther away than I wanted, but it's fine. I went to the place where my Eyes of Ender said that the stronghold was, but Minecraft changed in 1.9. Minecraft changed how the stronghold is generated. So in 1.12, where the server is right now, there should be a stronghold here. But these chunks must have been generated before 1.9. So even though the stronghold is supposed to be here now, it wasn't there when the chunks were generated. Sadly, the stronghold was not there. I checked like 2 or 3 other places when the stronghold was supposed to be, and it wasn't there. I went to the 4th place, and even though there was a stronghold here at some point, and there was a working portal here at some point, someone broke it. Someone broke the portal. So yeah, I needed to check out the 5th place, and luckily on the 5th place I visited, there was a stronghold, there was a end portal, and it was a working one. So finally, after about like 16 hours of playing, I was ready to get into the end and to kill the end dragon. One thing I didn't know is that the entirety of main island in end on 2b2t is underwater. This complicated a bit of stuff a bit. I went to the middle of the island where the end portal is, and I didn't know what to do. I flew around, and yes, indeed, everything was underwater. I didn't know what to do. I fought the Ender Dragon a lot of times. I never fought it underwater. I needed to get high, like really high, to the highest point possible on the end island, because how Ender Dragon works is Ender Dragon while perching looks on the highest point of 0, 0, right? XZ coordinate 0, 0, looks where the Y is and he goes there. On 2b2t, there are blocks placed on the height limit on 0, 0. So the dragon on the normal flight would just fly around down there and then perch and go up and out of render distance. This was probably unplayable, so I needed to destroy the entire 0, 0 column, which luckily didn't go like completely down, so I only had to destroy like 20 blocks, 30 blocks, but eventually I did that. And now I was ready to do it. I was ready to kill the Ender Dragon. Oh, I don't want to do this. Fuck it. Let's go. Wait, what? No. Okay, one down. These ones are the easiest to break, because you literally just can go like this, break this, go in here, and break it. And this iron bars are super useful. Go like this, and I have air pocket. I go like this. Oop. Okay, easy. 2 down, 3 down. Okay. I think the blast radius of this is completely broken because of the water. I think that's all. Now, what I have to do is find the fucking dragon. He's healing? Why is he healing? Why is he healing? The dragon, I broke every pillar, and the dragon was still here. I didn't know why, but that was a big problem. Okay, he's gone. I have to place this so he would be higher. I think I place this 3 high, and then I maybe could make like a platform here. I don't get why he's healing. He's not healing anymore. Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay. I just fell in the end portal. Cause he destroyed my blocks. What the fuck? And 2B2T, while the dragon respawned, the end portal is still there. So I fell into the end portal, and I was about an hour away from the nearest end portal. I don't think I can get there quick enough. Can I? I think I have to try. I didn't want to spend another whatever amount of hours farming for Ghast tears. I went through Nether instantly because it was much faster, but going through Nether without highways, especially with horse, is horrible. My horse almost died at one point, which would be terrible if he did. And the whole travel was awful. But eventually I got onto the highway with my horse, and all I had to do is run, and I ran, and I ran, and I ran, and probably after an hour I finally got back to the end portal, and I immediately jumped in. Luckily no one was fighting the dragon, and he was still there. And while I was getting to the middle, I find these 2 things. 2 end crystals randomly on the side. That's why the ender dragon was healing. So I broke them, and yep. No! And then dragon threw me in the end portal again. See, the previous one was bad because I spent an hour to get there again. But this one, I had to leave my house in about 40 minutes. This one was terrible. I quickly grabbed the horse, like got to the nether and traveled, but the horse died. I had no chance of getting there in time. But suddenly I was hit by a stroke of genius. I could kill myself. Cause I had ender chest. And I broke my bed. So I could pull all my valuable stuff in the ender chest, kill myself, get to spawn, and from spawn I wouldn't have 300,000 blocks to get to end. I would have around 7. So that's a lot of time saved. So I did kill myself. I respawned. I took all my items back immediately. I immediately went back to end. And I'm gonna be honest, this probably saved me around 40 minutes. I immediately go back into the end and started fighting the dragon again. Now I purposely was far away from the end portal so the ender dragon wouldn't knock me into it again. And finally, after around 20 hours of playing on 2v2 team, you didn't drop anything. But now we can count this as a win. And yeah, after 24 hours spent on 2v2 team, probably another 50 hours spent in queue, I finally killed the ender dragon and I finally beat Minecraft on 2v2 team. Even though this took me a lot of time, it was pretty fun and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, because I spent a lot of time on this. And yeah, see you.